All right. That's pretty awesome. I don't know how I'll follow that up. I love the announcements involved in the singing. Good job, guys. Good job. Thanks for sharing your talents with us. That's an awesome ministry. Today, that's what we're going to talk about is ministry. What's your call? How do you answer that call? What are some of the things that are going to hold you back? It was appropriate. It was not planned because I had not looked at the Sunday school lesson until after I wrote the sermon. But one of the ice-breaking questions was, if you could radically change your ministry, just kind of in the context of if this is your last day on earth. I said week. Make it really. If you just had a day, you could probably just do whatever you want to really change your life that week. If you had a week, maybe a year, you'd have to think about some things you were wrong about. But it's like you just had 7 days of worship left in your life. What would you do? What kind of ministry would you have? And if there be anything radical you would try. And some of the answers we had, they weren't very radical, but more focused on children, more music, and of course, less preaching. So, yeah.
Right.
Wayne did 3 sermons and 3 services last week. I'm going to try to do 3 sermons in 1 service this week. But a call to serve. How can I help? This week's lesson, we know we've been going through the church. And today we're going to talk about service and ministry. What is your ministry? What's your call? What's God asking you to do? And what is He leading you to do? How can He use your skills to advance His church and to spread His word and advance His kingdom? So, the first passage, we're going to go through a few passages. The first one is just really a place to kind of leave off from. And to let you know, no matter what you think about yourself, or your skills, or your talents, there's a use for you. There's a use for everybody, no matter what they can do in the church. So you shouldn't feel inadequate when you see something you want to do in the church, even if it's something that's not being done, or it's maybe a hole that's been left in the ministry. Don't feel inadequate. Come up and talk to me, Andy, or Brian. Volunteer and say, hey, I think it'd be cool if we did this. Or, I think it'd be cool if we did that. Or, hey, I noticed there's a need here. I would like to fill that role. God made you. He created you. He can use you. The first verse here I want to go to is Romans 12, verse 4 through 8. I know I've used this in a sermon before. And I think Andy and Brian have. This is really a nice passage just to kind of let you know that God can use everything. He created us all. He's given us all gifts that He can use once we've given our lives to Him to advance His kingdom and to be a part of His church. So give everybody a second just to find that. All right. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophecy, then prophecy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully. And if it is to cook, bring your stuff to our meetings. We all like meetings. That's a little add-on. I added that on. But basically, it doesn't matter what you're good at or what you can do or what skills you have. They can be used in this church. And they can be used in God's kingdom to go out and spread the message about Jesus and what He did. So, first thing, I'll go ahead and open this in prayer. Oh, Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for what you did for us, Lord. And and what you continue to do in our lives. Just let us, let the hearts be open to what I have to say today, Lord, and just speak through me, deliver this message that you probably deliver, Lord, about your church and your kingdom and the gifts you gave us and how we can use those gifts and overcome challenges to serve the church, Lord. Just bless this message in your name we pray. Amen. All right, the first thing you have to do to get involved, to answer your call, to serve the church, to serve the Lord, is identify your gift. You have to figure out what you have to offer. Just a couple, I've got 3 questions here that you can kind of ask about yourself and go through the answers and pray with God to identify what He might be asking you to do, or what He might be able to use you to do. First, what are you good at? What are you good at? What are the things that you've noticed you have a high aptitude for? Maybe it's teaching. Maybe you're really good at explaining things. You've noticed when you talk to somebody about things, they understand what you're talking about. And they don't understand something when they're talking to somebody else about it. Maybe you're really good at playing an instrument. Maybe God bless you with a great voice. Maybe singing is called. Maybe it's something else. Maybe you're a great athlete. You really love to play basketball. You like to play soccer, football, whatever. Maybe you can bring that gift to the church. Maybe you're just willing to try anything or to do anything to help out. Maybe that's your gift. But what are you good at? Kind of think of some things that you're good at and where those things might come into play in the church. Do you have a question? No, okay. Is that an amen? Mm-hmm. Yeah, just say it. You don't have to use it. Like Brian said, yell it out. Brian's got a good voice for it. Sit by Brian, you can slap him if you didn't say it. The next question you may ask is, what are you interested in? What gets you ticking? What gets you excited? What are the things that you have a passion for? There's a reason you have that passion. Maybe it's not even something you're really good at, but maybe it's something you just love to do. Some of the things I just talked about are things like music. We could probably all learn how to play the guitar, but if you don't have the passion for it, you're not going to sit down and learn how to play the guitar. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of patience. I know my wife likes to knit. We could probably all knit, but I have no patience for knitting. So if God called me to knit, or if I felt like God was calling me to knit, I would probably be wrong, because I wouldn't enjoy it, and I wouldn't stick to it very long, and I'd move on and do something else. But what are your passions? Kind of think about the things you like to do, and think about, how will this fit in? Maybe it's something off the wall, maybe something radical like we talked about today. Maybe something new. How can I use this for the church? How can I use this to advance Christ's kingdom? And the last question, what kinds of people do you relate to? This is a big one. If you don't like kids, you probably don't want to get involved in the children's ministry. You think old people are not very cool, you probably don't want to get involved in teaching adults. But if you love teenagers, the youth might be your call. If you love little kids, the children's ministry might be your call. If you like talking to adults and you like a little more fellowship, a little more sharing of information, then adult ministry might be your calling. But think about the kind of people you enjoy being around. Think about the kind of people you have fun with. Think about the kind of people you like to have conversations with and you like spending time with. That's probably an area of the church where you would be good at getting involved in. This is my little verse on this. It's just something to remember. God made you special. It's not my verse, it's something I wrote. God made you special. So the answers to these questions will help identify your calling. When you start thinking about these, there's a reason that you're good at certain things. God gave you that talent. There's a reason you're interested in certain things. God planted that seed inside of you. And there's a reason that you like certain kinds of people. Because that's the way God made you. God created all of us. It's just not random happenstance. When you give your life to Him, and you can answer these calls, these are the things He gave you. These are the tools He gave you. These are the gifts that He gave you to use. The next step, once you've kind of figured out what you might want to do, maybe you've got some ideas of what might work. Maybe you've got some new ideas, something that might be creative and off the wall. But you're thinking, hey, this might be a really great way to teach people about Jesus. Answering your call is the next step. And it's pretty easy. I didn't have time to call Nike this week, or I would have used their slogan. Just do it. There's nothing else to this step except do it. Don't continue to sit back and say, think inside your brain, I'd like to do that, or I might be good at that, or hey, church needs somebody to do that. Go and do it. Don't think, maybe I'm not the right person for this. Come up and ask. Ask anybody. We always need help. The community needs help. There's areas to serve Jesus all over and all around. There's a multitude of ways to do it. But you can't do anything if you don't jump out there and get started. So, get involved. Just do it. As Nike would say, just do it. It's a great line. It applies in every attitude of life, but it especially applies in the church. Now the hard part. Once you've answered your call, you've made a decision to serve, you've got a ministry caught up, and you're ready to go, what's going to happen? Okay? Who doesn't like the idea of you serving? Who doesn't like the idea of you getting more involved in your church? Yeah, that guy right there. You're going to have to deal with Satan. He's going to come at you. When you give your life to Christ, He's going to come at you. He's going to bring your friends that maybe used to do the old things with you. He's just going to come at you. He's going to attack you because you've turned away from Him. When you decide to start a ministry, when you decide to start serving, He's definitely going to come at you. Because now you're going to be trying to bring other people with you. And that's less people under His control. And He's got some very good tools. He's not like the bad guy in the movie where he gets you in his grasp and then he tells you his whole plan, exactly what he's going to do right before you miraculously get rescued. And say, he'll never even let you know he's there. He doesn't want you to know he's there. He likes to hide. He likes to kind of lurk around in the corners. Get in the weaknesses in your mind. Use your own will and your own desire to kind of trick you. He's a very deceptive guy. He'd rather you just not think about him at all. I'm sure he loves that in most churches he's not really mentioned anymore. He's not brought out. People get uncomfortable talking about him. I know Ryan talked about that in his message a few weeks ago. But I've got a few things here that he's definitely going to use. I want everybody to turn. The first one is your lack of faith. Turn to Hebrews chapter 3, verse 12 to 13. I made myself turn so we'd all have time to turn together instead of putting it up here. Helps you get acquainted with your Bible a little more when you got to find all this stuff. You may not like me. Verse 1 is, see to it, brothers, that none of you has a sinful, unbelieving heart that turns away from the living God, but encourage one another daily, as long as it is called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. Maybe that lack of faith, it's not necessarily that you don't believe, or that you don't understand who Jesus is and what He did. Maybe it's the other stuff. You don't believe that He can turn you into someone who has a ministry, or that He can turn you into someone who can serve. or He can turn you into someone that can lead more people to it. And maybe that doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a big step. Because you're basically saying, your lack of faith isn't in who He was, it's in what He can do. He can do anything. And if you don't think He can do something with you, you're basically saying, I don't believe that you can do anything. Because that's something that He can do. He can use you, He can use your gifts, and He can use your talents. There should be no lack of self-confidence. Jesus is on your side. Because you can, like you said, with faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. With faith even smaller than that, He can make you into someone who can serve, someone who can create their own ministry, someone who can do something in your church, in your community to advance His kingdom. The next one's a big one. It's the one I probably struggle with the most. Through pride. Go to James chapter 4, verse 10. Should be not too far after where you're at. Maybe 15, 20 pages. It says very simply, humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up. Being humble doesn't mean not, we talk about identifying your gifts, identifying what you're good at, identifying your interests. Being humble doesn't mean not understanding that you have some skills and abilities, but it's trying to always say, I'm better than this other person at that, or I do a better job at that than this other person, or my way of doing this is better than yours. You need to step back and let me handle it. Or maybe it's your pride says, I don't really need any help. I don't want anybody to help me do this. And all of a sudden you're in over your head in what you've tried to do because you're the only person going at it. And that's not everybody else's fault, it's usually our own fault. Maybe it's you feel like somewhere inside of you, and this can kind of tie into the lack of faith, like you just won't let God take control. And part of that is, one of the things God's going to do is when you need help, He's going to send people to help you. But when those people show up, and you say, you kind of look at them, or you judge them, or you think about them, and you say, I don't know, I don't think they've got the right frame of mind, or I don't think they've got the right skills, or I know this about them, or I know that about them. And you turn away and you decide to do it on your own, you've effectively turned away God's help for you. I know Chris and Tanya, when we had our last intergenerational worship, they both said, I don't like being young because nobody trusts me. Nobody ever asked me to do anything. And I think maybe we're guilty of that. Maybe we look and we say, well, I'm an adult. I don't need help from them. They're just teenagers. I'll take care of all this stuff. And we'll just use them for the physical labor or something like that. We don't get them involved in the more nitty-gritty stuff like talking about Jesus, talking about God, teaching lessons and things of that nature. Because we don't ever ask. But also, you can come forward and ask too. Be honest, if you feel like somebody's rushing you off or kind of doesn't want to work with you, maybe go talk to somebody else. Talk to Brian, talk to Andy, talk to me. Maybe we can help grease those hinges and get that relationship moving and improve the relationship there. I'm saying your lust. This is all kinds of lust. We're going to go clear to the opposite side of the Bible, to Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. Second thing of the Bible. It's one of those famous commandments, which you might have heard about. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his manservant, or maidservant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. You shouldn't lust after things. You shouldn't covet things. Sometimes it's our lust of material goods that causes us to work longer and longer and longer hours to feed our habit. We've been talking about it in our Dave Ramsey lesson. Debt. You're a slave to it if you have much more of it than really any of it. Because once you have that, you owe it to somebody. Now you can't really make a choice about your job. You can't really make a choice about the hours that you work. You're a slave to paying off that debt. And that debt is usually created because of something that we want. So we want these things, our mind is constantly, instead of revolving around God, it's revolving around what do I have to do to get this money, to get this thing. We don't have time to serve. We don't have time to think about other things like ministry, about Jesus, about the people around us, about our church, until the alarm goes off on Sunday morning. Maybe it's a person. I know with our youth and our young people, it's very often a person, a love relationship that is going to lead you away. And I talk about it at our guide nights. It's something I almost talk about every time. You know, don't follow your physical attraction and get involved in a relationship with someone that doesn't share your faith. There's lots of physically attractive people out there, whether you're a man or a woman. It's very helpful to be choosy about who you start to date. You don't have to date the first person that is physically attracted to you. Just because they're physically attracted to you is not really a great reason to date anyway. Think about that. That'll be the number one thing that'll pull you out of the church as a young person. We've seen it. I've been here 6 or 7 years. I've seen it over and over and over and over again. Maybe it's somebody that demands more time of you that you can't give to your church. Maybe give yourself a leadership role and all of a sudden this person's demanding your time. They're demanding your energy. You don't have that time to give anymore. And all it takes is a little bit of prayer to examine, is God the one leading me away from church, or Satan using this situation to pull me away from the church? I think it's very important to really think about those situations when you're young and when you're in those situations. I think as an adult, it's going to be more, once you get married, it's going to be more of those things that we're chasing. We're going to have problems with material things. But as a young person, it's going to be that sexual desire. Paul talks about it in 2 or 3 of his letters. He says, point blank, he says, it's better that you not get married, but I understand that everyone has sexual desire, and there's only one place for that desire to be outlet, and that is in your marriage. And that's what he says, point blank. And I'm not sure where it's at, but I've read it I've been reading through the Bible, and I'm going through his letters right now, and I've already read it twice. And I'm on like the 4th or 5th letter. So, he understands, God understands, Jesus understands. That's a big part of growing up and going through your maturing into a person. But marriage is the place for it. And it should not detract away from your ministry or your service. The next thing, and this is one that's very hard to identify sometimes, is your bitterness. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 again. I should have told everybody to stay in Hebrews and mark that page. Chapter 12, verse 14 through 15. It's our bitterness. I always laugh, anytime in Sunday school, here nobody really says anything, they're just kind of listening to the end. That might be why we don't like preaching so much. We don't get to participate as much as we would like to. It never fails in small groups. When I talk about forgiveness, that half the people in the table, the first thing they say is, yeah, but. Yeah, but. Well, what about this? What about that? Now all of a sudden we've got 3 or 4 scenarios on the table. Who do you think's behind the yeah, but? Who are we talking about here? Right. Jesus said, point blank, out of his mouth, forgive or you will not be forgiven. Learn to forgive or you will not be forgiven. He didn't say, learn to forgive or you will not be forgiven. But if it's really important to you to stay angry, you can go ahead and say it. Let's read this passage here. Make every effort to live in peace with all men and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one misses the grace of God and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. Will somebody tell me in that the very first part of 14, who are we to live in peace with? All men, right? Not all men that we like, or all men that treat us nicely, or all men that have never hurt our feelings, not all men that have never said anything that made us angry, not all men that have never taken advantage of us, not all men that, we like. Basically, he doesn't say that. He says all men, and to be holy. Any part of your heart that is consumed with anger and a lack of forgiveness will harbor this bitter root. And that bitter root, what's it say at the end there, Benny? It's going to grow up and cause trouble and defile many. That little bitter root, maybe somebody said something that made you mad, maybe they did something that made you mad. They did something really awful. I would say, luckily nobody has ever really, really hurt me in my life because of something that they did personally to me. But I know almost everybody in this room has probably had that kind of hurt on them from a parent, from a friend, from someone that they were in a relationship with, vice versa. We've all... I know many of you have been wrong and hurt and mistreated and abused. Probably every day this week, somebody will wrong you in some minor way. Especially if you work somewhere or you have a lot of friends or you talk to people in general. Someone's probably going to say something you don't like. They're probably going to do something that kind of hurts your feelings or makes you mad. But when you get angry and you harbor that anger and that little root takes seed, and you let it stay there, you can't forgive, what's it going to do? What's the pattern to go through? Like a little hamster in there, isn't it? It runs around and it runs around and it runs around. And you just think. It's what you're thinking about when you're not doing anything else. You're driving your car and all of a sudden that thought comes up and you're sitting there, I was talking to them, this is what I'd say, and you start coming up with all these conversations you're going to have. It does when you got mad at somebody. I do this a lot. And you've got something you want to say, and you're going to see them, maybe you're going to see them here in 2 or 3 days. You got something planned, or you're going to see them at work on Monday, and they made you mad on Friday maybe, or just know something's coming up where you're going to see them. And you just replay that conversation that you're going to have. And it's like, I'm going to tell them what I think about that. And it consumes you. It's all consuming. I know it. I do it too. I do it all the time. It's like, I'm going to tell them what I think. I'm going to tell them this way. And I'm going to say it this way. And it's going to make them change. And they're not going to ever do that again. Because they're going to know not to cross me. Or not to do that. Because it hurt my feelings. And it made me mad. And I'm going to change it. Because the world falls around me. And this is the way it's going to be. But you think that, and it tears you up, and you can't let it go. You can't think about it. Well, what? All that time you spent thinking about that, what are you not doing? You're not thinking about what God wants you to do. You're not thinking about love. You're not thinking about what you can do out there to help. You're not thinking about what you can do out there to serve. You're not thinking about a ministry opportunity in your church. You're thinking about that. What else do we do when we do that? It's not only in our head that conversation starts going. Who we talk to next? Yeah. Our spouse. Then it's our friends. Then it's like, somebody, a lot of times we start talking to people that know that person too, that we know, we're both friends with. I can't believe what so-and-so did. Listen to what they did to me. They did this, and that. Here's what I think about it. Then what are you doing? You're gossiping. Then you're getting people, you start getting people in those conversations, and you're probably pulling one of their little bitter roots out. They probably got something to say about so-and-so too, right? Usually. So now you got two people talking bad about somebody. Like, now neither one of you are focused on what God can do, what you can do for God, what you can serve, what kind of ministry you can do. And that's what he says, before it grows up and cause trouble and defile many. Maybe it's somebody that root's really bitter with as well, and it brings it right back up in them. And then they start doing the same thing you're doing. It starts, soon enough, you've got a bunch of people that are mad about something because one person couldn't forgive. And it's gotten in the way of a lot of other people's hearts. And it's blocked out that part of your heart for God. God asks us to give Him everything. Not the part of it that's convenient for us right now. We're not the time that we have. And we're not doing anything else. He asks for everything. And He asks for our service and our ministry. I want you to think about some of the ways you may be able to serve Him. Identify your gift. Think about what you're good at. Think about what you might be interested in. Think about what you might like to do. And get involved. Step forward. Step up. Ask how you can help. Say, hey, I've got this idea for something new that we might try. I'd be willing to try anything if I thought it was going to get more people to know our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Literally, I'd be willing to try anything. And I'm sure Andy and Brian would too. We'd probably hear it all out. I'm probably the most random though, so if you got something really radical, you might want to talk to me first, and I can sell it to Andy and Brian. But, that's what all of our goals are. Maybe sometimes we get our own little thoughts in our own little mind, and we block somebody else out from doing something. And we might say no. Ask us again. Maybe once we said no, maybe that seed gets planted on us. We talk about planting seeds. We can plant seeds like this too. Maybe we'll go home, we'll think about it, we'll talk about it, we'll let it stew, we'll pray. And maybe it seems like a better idea later. Because God's had time to work on us. A lot of times the first time you hear something, it's kind of like, what? I know when Andy wanted somebody to lead the adult ministry, I was the one that walked up there and volunteered. He's like, what? But it turned out okay. He was more enthused Wednesday when I talked to him than he was on the Sunday after church. Get involved. Then get ready. Because you're going to deal with Satan. He's going to get involved too. He's going to try to pull you away. He's going to try to get you down, get you to feel like you can't do it. He's going to try to put other things in your life that you're going to want more and that are going to distract you and pull you away. Maybe somebody's going to say something critical of what you're doing. It's going to get you angry about them. Get that bitter root in your heart. Get kind of mad and just want to give it up. Be like, whatever, I don't want to do it with that person. I can't do anything with that person. Maybe you've got that attitude. But he's going to come. And when he comes, you're going to have to deal with it. But the people in your church and the people around you can help you deal with that. First thing, God's just a prayer away. He can do anything. Next thing, we're all just a phone call away. We can all help you as well. We can encourage you. We can build you up. we can discuss things. We all like to talk. I know I like to talk. So you can definitely call me. Andy likes to talk. I can't get him on the phone. Brian likes to talk. We all like to talk. God likes to talk too. He loves to talk to us. He likes to tell us what he's thinking. He likes to listen to what we're thinking as well. So get ready to deal with Satan when you answer that call. Today we'll pray. I just want everybody to think about maybe they've got something in their mind that they're wanting to do. Maybe they got an idea of a way to serve our Lord and Savior. Maybe you've got a ministry idea, something you'd like to do. If you do, please come up. Talk to us. I want Andy Brown to come up as well. Talk to us about your idea. We'll be open to anything for the next 10 days. No, seriously, we'll be open to anything anytime you want to try. If you've been serving and maybe something's in your way, maybe something's bothering you. You know, you've got a ministry, you've got a service, but you're thinking about giving it up. Something's in your way and you just want to pray about that. Or something's dragging you away, something's kind of pulling you away, and you want to pray about that, please come and pray about that with us as well. We want to encourage you. We don't want you to leave your service. We don't want you to quit your service. We don't want hindrances to be in your way. We want to help you overcome the deal with Satan. If you don't know what you want to do, but you want to do something, come talk about that as well. Maybe you haven't given your life to Jesus. And that's really the first step, though. You have to do that before he can use you. You have to accept him as the Lord and Savior. Maybe you haven't done that. You're feeling that tug. You're feeling that pull. And if you're ready to do that today, please do that as well. Go ahead and pray.